Okay, it's 7, so we'll go ahead and get started. So how are you guys doing today?
Sleepy?
You guys tired? You want this? You want the weekend to start already?
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, I get that feeling. I'm curious. Are you guys dealing with finals yet? Not yet.
Not yet, but fearing it.
Oh, okay. Well, don't worry. After we get through this meeting, you guys have the weekend to look forward to. So we've got two things to do today. The first thing we gotta do is, well, as stated from our last meeting, you guys wanted to look at problem 4 on the homework, right? And then after we get that out of the way, then we can start looking at the sections, and you guys get to finally learn about classes, right? Did Professor Amir started discussing classes with you guys
Just today.
yesterday? Okay, cool.
Just today, yeah.
Oh, just today. Okay. So just out of curiosity, how far did you guys get? You guys get the basic principle? Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. We went over the public and private.
Oh, that's good.
We went over how the individual functions. Something about explicit and implicit parameters, but that one's still iffy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think even I can tell you too much about explicit and implicit parameters. But anyways, yeah. So between those two things, I take it you guys probably want to do the homework first, right? Okay. Well,
if someone, the homework first is preferred.
Okay, great. So if someone could be so kind as to put the homework link in the chat again, because the link does expire. So there's no point in me bookmarking it. Thank you, Aaron Massey. All right, well, let's open this real fast. Super. We'll put this right here. Yeah. So we did problem 3 in the last meeting. We're about to do problem 4 today. And problem 5 was very similar to the last lab we did. So if you look at the last lab, you could probably use that to figure out how to do problem 5. But anyways, problem 4. I'll go ahead and open Visual Studio. Okay. Now, this particular problem involves text files. Now, homework. What homework number was this? This is 4, problem 4. Okay. Homework 4, problem 4. Now, so this particular homework problem involves the use of text files. None of the previous homeworks that we did before really involved text files. That being said, do you guys know how to put a text file in Code Blocks or Visual Studio if you're using it? Or you guys need help with that?
I think it's something about putting the text file in the folder of the same folder as the project. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, that's exactly how you do it in Visual Studio. I don't know how you do it in Code Blocks, but it's probably the same. So this is...
So we'd make a CPP file as normal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so... Yeah, this one's... Aside from the use of text files, this program's pretty simple. I think we can knock this out rather quickly. So I'm going to say include IO stream. And because this program is utilizing text files, we're also going to need to include another library, fstream. I'll put a comment here. And needed to input/output text. Okay. So so far so good. Let's read these instructions to ourselves. So it says, write a program that reads each line in a file, reverses its characters, and writes the resulting line to another file. Suppose the user specifies input.txt and output.txt when prompted for file names, and input.txt contains these lines. After the program is finished, output.txt should contain these lines, right? Okay, so in order for us to do this, we're gonna someone said in the chat, here's the link to the text file. Oh, I guess I have to log in. I guess I don't remember my own Coyote password. I'm sorry, guys. 1 sec.
Try just your ID instead of the email.
Okay. Nope.
Oh, wait, try the second link. That one might work.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so now that we got that, here's what we gotta do. We're gonna do what Aaron Massey said before and include those 2 text files into the project folder. So in order for me to do that, I would have to, I need to go to the place where I saved the project. It was in C users source repos. All right, so wherever you saved your projects, you have to go to that folder. For me, the project file is in here. And you go into the project folder here, and in this file, you create 2 text files. Now, the homework requires us to call these input.txt and output.txt, right? So I'll add inputs, and I'll add outputs. Perfect. Now, now that both of these are in the project folder, all I have to do now is go to, I click on resource files here, I click add, I say existing item, and I say I want to add this. And holding down control, I click on both files, and then I can add both of them at once. There we go. Now at this point in in this point in time, the input.txt is blank and output.txt is blank, right? Now we should put this text in input.txt and then save that. So in order for us to do this, it's actually quite simple. So write a program that reads each line in the file, reverses the characters, and writes the resulting line to another file. Okay, so in order for us to do this, the first thing we should do is open the input.txt, right? And the way you do that is you declare your if stream variables. So I'm going to say if stream, and because this is a variable, you can name it anything you want. But for me, I like to call my if stream variables in data and out data, just because that's just habit for me. So I'll call this in data. Valerie Mora asks in the chat, what did you do? What do you mean, what did I do? Are you asking how I added the text files to the project?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So the way you do it is you open File Explorer. If you're using Windows, you just open File Explorer and you go to the location where you saved your project, right? For me, I saved it in C, users, my name, source, repos, and this is the location where I saved it. If you don't know where you saved your project, what you could do is open a new Visual Studio and just create new project. And instead of creating a new project, you could just look at the location where your projects get saved. For me, it's this location, right? But anyways, when you find the location where you save your project, go inside of it, go inside the project folder, and add 2 text files like this. Well, I'm not going to add new text files because I already did that here. And you should name them input and output. And then after you do that, you go back to Visual Studio, you right click on resource files, hover over add, and then click existing item. Not new item, existing item. And then you just select the 2 files you created, and then they'll open up here and here. Does that answer your question, Valerie Moore?
Can you go over it one more time because it's a little complicated?
We could just, I can have you share your screen and then we can do it together. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and share your screen. A quick question, do you use code blocks or do you use Visual Studio? Okay.
Cool, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that looks like you're in the folder where your project is located, because I see your main.cpp. So I guess inside of that folder, go ahead and right click and add 2 text files. Name the first one input. And then add another one and call it output. Like that. Okay, perfect. So now that you've got those,
Yeah, so then what was that last part that you did?
that I did?
Yeah, where you added them to the project within the editor?
Oh, I hovered over sources, click add new existing file. Does code blocks have that? Valerie, why don't you go to your code blocks, hover over the file that says sources. Yeah, and there, right click it. Is that not it? Does anybody know how to add a text file to code blocks? Oh, there it is. Yeah, Valerie, see the input and output text files there? Click inputs and holding down control, click output and then say open. Yeah. Okay, perfect. That's how you do it.
Okay, so
CodeBlocks does not know yet how to open this kind of file. Please select what you want to open with. Try saying open it inside the CodeBlocks editor. There you go.
okay.
Right. Now, here's what you want to do next. Inside your input.txt, you should add the text file that professor. Yeah, that.
So just copy and paste it?
Yep.
Okay.
There you go. And go ahead and save that. All right. Now we're good to go.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me share my screen again. Share. Okay. So we know what we're trying to do. We're trying to take each line of input.txt, reverse it, and have it show an output.txt. Okay. Now, in order to do that, like I was saying before, the first thing we have to do is open input.txt, right? And the way you do that is by including the fstream library, and you also need to declare fstream variables. So I declared an fstream variable called indata here. I will use this to open input.txt. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to say I'm going to declare my fstream variable again in data. Now, fstream variables contain a whole bunch of member functions. The one that we're going to use is called open. And inside these quotes here, we're going to put the name of the input file that we want to open. In this case, it's going to be input.txt. So input.txt, like that. See? Okay, so now we have our input file open. It's connected to the WP. Now we have the process of reading it. And this is actually the way we're going to do it. So we want to continue getting lines. We're going to get line 4 times, right? We want to continue getting lines until we've reached the end of input.txt. So the way that we're going to go about this is using a while loop. Okay. So while, like that. Now you might be wondering what you got to put inside of this conditional, right? Now, one thing that you should know is that ifstream variables have another member function called EOF. EOF stands for end of file, right? EOF returns a Boolean, true or false. It's true if you reach the end of the file and false if you didn't reach the end of the file. So what you should do is put the ifstream variable that opened the text file in. For me, that's called indata. And you should say dot EOF open close parentheses, and you should say, you should put an exclamation point there in order to say not, right? So basically this is saying while we haven't reached the end of the file, right? Okay. So far so good. So next thing we gotta do, so the way I see it, we're probably gonna need a temporary variable here, right? A string variable that holds the current line that we're looking at. So maybe I'm gonna declare a string variable here. So string line, like that. Now, now that I have a string line, that's weird. It's not showing colors. Should I include string? There we go. Okay, so now that I have that, what I need to do now is inside of the while loop, we need to get the line and put it in line. Okay, so we're gonna say get line cin line, like that. Now I wouldn't use cin line because cin stops when it sees the first blank space, and we don't want to stop when we see a blank space. We want to retrieve the whole line, right? That's why we have to use get line instead of cin. All right, so now that we have that, we
Wait,
also,
is it CN? I thought we were reading from the file. Will that CN still work? Or do we have to use the in data stream?
I think you're right. I think we have to use in data. Yeah, I think you're right. We have to use in data instead of cin. Thanks for catching that. Yeah, cin and cout is used for retrieving data from the console, but our string variables are used for getting data from text files. Thank you for that, Aaron Massey. Okay.
You're welcome.
All right. There's there's actually one other thing I forgot to do. We opened the input file, but we also have to open the output file. So here's what I'm gonna do. So you use if stream in order to read data from a text file, but you use of stream to write data to a text file. So I'm gonna name this of stream variable out data, like that. And I'm also gonna say out data dot open output txt. So so I have so because maybe I should add some comments here. If string used for reading data and of string so for input.txt, because I'm not writing to input.txt and I'm only reading from it, I give it an if stream variable, right? And because of, and for output.txt, because I'm not reading from it, I'm just writing to it. I don't give it an if stream variable. I only give an upstream variable. Okay. So now that we got that, the next thing we got to do is we need to take the line and we have to output it in reverse, right? Now, how exactly do you guys think we're going to do that?
I think we had that as a homework question
Yes, we
a
did.
couple of, yeah. Let's see if I can find it.
Yeah, where you reverse the string. Yeah, if you still have it, that's good. Go ahead and use that. But in case you don't have it, the way that you would do it is you would write a for loop and make it run in reverse. Does everyone remember that? So I'm gonna say for. So in order to make this for loop go in reverse, normally I say int I equals 0, but in this case, I don't want it to start from 0. Well, what index do I want to start it at? I want to start it at the index of the very last character. And the index of the last character is always going to be the size of the string minus 1, right? And it's minus 1 because our count starts from 0 and not 1, right? So we have to account for the misplaced 1. So instead of saying int I equals 0, I'm actually going to say int I equals line dot size minus 1. Okay. All right. Now I need to do the second part of the for loop. Instead of saying I is less than the thing that I want to stop at, what I need to say instead is that instead of less than, I should say greater than or equal to, and then the opposite index, which is going to be 0. And then thirdly, instead of saying I plus plus, because I'm making this for loop go in reverse, I should say I minus minus, like that. Okay. So here's what I think we gotta do. Now that we have this for loop running in reverse, inside of this for loop, we should output the character that's at index I. So I'm gonna say, well, normally I would say C out, right? But I don't want the program to output everything to the console. I want it to output the output.txt. And the way I would do that is instead of saying C out, I would say the upstream variable that I assigned to output.txt. So I'm going to say, instead of C out, I should say out data, right? And I'm going to say line dot at. Okay. So far, so good. So anyways, so this for loop accomplishes what we were trying to do. If this was line, it would say BMAL space ELTTIL all the way backwards, right? Now, one thing that we should remember is that every time it finishes a line, we should end the line. So I'm going to say end the line here. Now, normally I would say C out and line here. but because I'm not writing to console, I'm writing to the output file. I should say out data and L. Okay. And then after that, I should retrieve the very next line, right?
Wait, so then technically, do we not need to include the IOStream library?
Yeah, I guess you're right. We probably don't need the IOStream library. And you know what? Now that I look at this, I think I made a subtle error here. I think what I should do, instead of putting this in here, I should take that out, put it before the while loop, and then put it once over here after. Oh no, I didn't need to do that. I accidentally run it. Okay. And then I should put this again over here. So the reason for that is, or should I?
Could you make a do while loop?
You could do a do while loop. Yeah. Because I'm just trying to think in terms of steps how this would work. So it would get the line, do this, reverse it, get the next line, and then it checks if it's not in the file. I don't know if I should have it be a while loop or a do while loop, as Aaron Massey says, but I think the only way to find out is we actually tried it. So we know what we're trying to do. We're trying to have every line here be reversed in output.txt, right? Now, here's the thing. I actually can't run this yet. One thing that you should do before running this is that any input files that you opened, you have to close them afterwards. So because I opened two text files here, I'm going to say in data close. This will close input.txt and then out data close. And that will close output.txt. Close the files. There's only one way to find out if this works, is if we actually run it. So here's what I'm going to do.
Wait, so do you not have to close them in the editor?
Hmm?
Oh, so you can keep them open within the editor when you write them. Okay.
So let's see if this works. If this doesn't work, I'm going to do what Aaron Massey says and do a while loop, a do while loop instead. So as expected, nothing happened in the console because we didn't see in or see out anything. Now, as for this, it did the first one correctly, the second one correctly, and the third one correctly, but it didn't do the last one. Maybe I was right the first time. Maybe I should comment that out and put this before the for loop instead. There we go. So I shouldn't doubt myself. So it was right the first line. I had to put the get line first before the for loop, because if I had the get line after the for loop, the last line would never happen because we would have reached the end of file before we would have reversed it, and which means we would have exited the while loop. Okay, so this seems to work. I wonder if it would also work if we did it the way Aaron Massey said and do a do while loop instead.
Oh, I tried it. It worked.
If you did this, do
Yeah,
while.
I tried to do a loop. It works.
Yeah, but then you would also probably have to put this after the for loop, or not.
I can show you what I did.
Okay. All right, let me undo this. Okay. All right, let me stop my share and then you can go ahead and share your screen.
Yeah, so anyways, it is from in code blocks. So it's just do, and then the get line. This is the standard code. This I just use a slightly different algorithm for reversing the string, and then the while statement at the end. It's pretty much the same thing though.
Oh, so you said substring instead of
Yeah, I use substring, but it worked
using
because
substrings
yeah,
of size 1, huh?
yeah,
I guess that works. Yeah,
yeah.
but that's good. I like that. So doing a do while loop would also accomplish the same thing. Okay, that's good to know.
It kind of bothers me how there's an additional like NL character at the end that's making a fifth line though, but I don't entirely know how to change that or if it's worth changing.
It's because our do while loop outputs that NL at the end.
Yeah, right here. Yeah.
That's fine, but it's fine. It accomplishes.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Mine won't work.
Okay. Well, all right. Miss Valerie Moria, go ahead and share your screen and we can figure it out.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Go to your main. That's. Did you remember to close your in? Yeah, you did. So on line 15, I see your error. On line 15, you should say exclamation point in data.eof. No, the exclamation point should be in front of the in data, like there. Oh, yeah, because you see, EOF returns a Boolean variable. It will return true if you're at the end of the file, but false if you're not at the end of the file. And that's why you have to say exclamation point, so it's not end of file. So
Okay.
it looks like it worked for the first 2 lines, but it didn't work for the other 2.
Huh.
So that looks the same. That looks the same. Line dot size -1. That looks good too. Line 24, delete that. Yeah, I was confused for a second because I didn't know whether or not I should put the get line before or after the for loop. I thought it was supposed to be after, but no, it's supposed to be before.
Oh, I see.
The reason why it needs to be before is because if you get the line after, then you would have already reached the end of file and you wouldn't see that line.
Okay. Thank you. Can you take a quick look at my homework 3? It's not working.
Sure.
All right. So this is what happens when I try to build it.
What kind of error does it give you?
It goes fatal error. Employee H, no such file or directory.
Oh, so you probably didn't include the employee.h header file that we wrote.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah. So would you like to see it?
Yes, please. Let me just get out here.
Give me one sec. I just need to find on my computer where I saved it. That's not it. Yeah, you you tried to you tried to use a class, but you didn't uh add the class first before using it. So yeah, that of course that's gonna throw an error. All right, I found it. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so here's the main.cpp. Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Employee.h is over here. So if you were around in the session from last week, you know that we copy pasted this code, this linked list code from one of those iBooks, and then we just changed things around so that it fits our purposes.
Yeah, I wasn't there because I had my job orientation that day.
Okay, that's fine. So so one
So,
thing that you might need is do you know how to add a header file in CodeBlock?
no.
No. Uh, well, unfortunately, neither do I. Does anyone here know how to add a header file in CodeBlock?
Oh yeah. Okay. So
Valerie Moore, why don't you share your screen again, and then Aaron Massey will walk you through.
All right. Or is it just doing this again?
Sorry, I have to stop my. There you go. So Aaron Massey, since you know how to add a header file in CodeBlocks, what do you do? Do you go to is it under project to add files, or is it someplace else?
yeah, it should be. Yeah, try adding files. Wait, hold on. Give me a
All right.
second. Let me figure.
But this is good. We're all helping each other.
Oh, let me just double check how to do it. Okay, so I think it's file, then new. I think check from template. Yeah, it was under new. So new file no, from template, yeah. Oh yeah, okay, it's somewhere around here.
It's one of those.
It should say header, I think.
I see projects, so we're probably in the right spot. Oh, there it is. C++.
Yeah, there.
And now name this header file employee.h. Employee with a capital E.
Do I check any of these or?
I don't think so. Do you? Aaron Massey, do you know?
Well, didn't you do that on Visual Studios? On Visual Studio, I think you should
You should
probably.
check those 2 boxes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, why not? Valerie Moore, go ahead and check those 2 boxes.
Pick the,
Wait.
oh, you have to select the path too. So yeah, so press OK, and I think it's next to the yeah. So it's next. I think it's the little ellipsis next to the bar at employee.h. Yeah. So you have to put now. You have to put it in the project folder, which I think this is it. Yeah. Yeah, you were there before, so go to homework for part 3. Yeah, I'll save it in there.
Yeah, don't click those 2. Just save.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
All
So
right.
perfect. So now you have your employee.h. So you need to copy my employee.h code into that.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me just.
Do you need me to share my screen again?
Yeah.
Okay. One sec. That. Is 100% size big enough for you, or should I go 150?
100 was fine.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I don't think you need this Pragma once. I believe this is a Visual Studio thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I took a screenshot of it.
Okay, great. And after you type everything, try it, and if it still doesn't work, just let us know.
Do you need the semicolon at the 46?
46. Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Okay. Was that all you needed, Valerie Moore?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Okay. So it's right around 7:50. So unfortunately, we're at time, but we did accomplish a lot. We got question 4 of the homework out of the way. So I trust that you guys will do the week 12 sections by yourself over the weekend. I mean, I did skim through these sections before. I think, in my opinion, it does a pretty good job of explaining what classes are. Like this, like for instance, here in the very first section, it talks about grouping things into objects because C++ is an object-oriented language. So I think that's a good introduction. So anyways, what do you guys say? You guys want to? You guys will just do the sections by yourself, and then on our next meeting on Tuesday, we'll do a lab together. Sound good?
Yeah, so what are we
Yeah.
doing together next time?
Oh, over the weekend, you should do the week 12 sections by yourself, and then come on our next meeting Tuesday, we'll do one of the labs.
Okay,
We
got
did
it.
spend our entire meeting time doing homework stuff. So so before I let you guys go, was this all the help that you needed for the homework, or did you also need help with any other questions? If you know how to do question 1, you know how to do question 2 because they're almost exactly the same. And then question 5 is almost exactly like the last lab that we did. So if you looked at the lab that we did for week 11, that would help you tremendously with this one because it's the exact same principle. You're trying to break a string down into its constituent parts. Right? Now, there's actually one more thing that I wanted to. There's actually one more thing that I wanted to do before I let you guys go. Does everybody know how to find the SOTs, the students on teacher evaluation forms on your My Coyote? Because it's that time of the year again when you guys do evaluations on your instructors. Does everybody know where to find the SOTs on your Blackboard? Yes. Okay. Great.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So if that's it, we're good to wrap up this meeting. But I am gonna stay a couple minutes longer to help Logan James Ashbaugh with something. So if no one else needs anything else, you're all good to go, except for Mr. Logan James Ashbaugh. Okay. Thanks, Professor. Have a good night. You're welcome, Christopher Cruz Gutierrez. So if everyone can go ahead and just leave except for Logan James Ashbaugh, so I can help him privately.
If they okay, well, everyone's leaving already, but I guess if they want to stay, they kind of just need help with 1 and 2.
Oh, okay, okay.
But
okay.
All
right. If you have time after, I struggle a little bit with pointers, so I need some guidance on 1 and 2. So okay. Yeah. Nope. No problem, Mr. Ashbaugh.
Oh, we're working on 1 and 2 here.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm not very good with pointers.
Yeah, it's okay if I say 2, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's
fine.
that's fine.
All right, cool.
Hold
Thanks.
Hold on. I wonder if there's a way for me to stop the recording.
I think there is, but I don't know.
Hold on. Here's what I'm gonna do. I know that if I end the meeting, because here's the way that Zoom recordings work. When the meeting ends, the recording will start processing. So here's what I'm gonna do. Is it okay if I end the meeting and then start a new one, and then I'll invite you guys to I'll email both of you the new Zoom link.
Okay. I mean, it's also okay if it's recording because I mean, someone else might need help on 1 and 2 as well.
Oh, so you're completely fine with it if I just keep recording?
Yeah, it's good. Fine.
Okay. All right, we can do that. All right. So I won't end the recording. Okay. So
Okay.
problem 1 and 2. Write a function that returns a pointer to a maximum value of an array of floating point data. So you have so this is gonna be your function, right? And it returns a pointer of a double. The function is called maximum, and it accepts a pointer, a double pointer called a, and then int size. That's not too bad. So did you already go ahead and start this, or do you want me to look at your code and we can try to see what's wrong, or should I just start from scratch?
I've done a little bit. Like I've declared the maximum function,
Mhm.
and I have the array declared as well.
Okay.
But I have it declared in main. I'm not sure if I should declare it in maximum.
Okay. How about I stop my share and you can go ahead and share your screen and we can look at it.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay. So you have your array of doubles, right? One thing. So since you have your double array, one thing that you should so you know that maximum requires two parameters, right? One is going to be the pointer of a double
yeah.
A, and then the other one is going to be int size. So how about underneath your array declaration, you make a new int called size and set it equal to 5, because that's how, wait, I'm sorry, set it equal to 6 because that's how many items you have in there. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
So be
Okay, so so so
I know.
here's what I think. Yeah, send the size to it, and you also need to send R to it, ARR. But I don't understand why. One thing that I don't understand is why does the first argument need to be a pointer?
I don't know that either. Like, I mean, I would be pretty easy to do this if it was just passing the array, but
Yeah.
I think the professor was talking about how a pointer, like, I think something about pointers and arrays being essentially the same thing. About how like declaring a series of pointers is an array.
What? How is a? That's kind of weird. How is a pointer saved there?
you technically pass that.
Hmm.
Also, the side can't name its size. Actually, I just realized
I'm sorry. What?
I can't name its size because that's a function.
No, you should be because it's outside of the scope, right?
Yeah.
I think size is just like a reserved word.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's why it's green, right?
Yeah.
Oh, if size is a reserved word, you can probably name it something else. Try calling it the size instead.
Okay.
Like the size, like THESIZE. Is size really a reserved word?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
then
I
you
think
got
it
like
is, yeah. Right.
Maybe it's because it's a function.
yeah, because you would do like this with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because size is a function. For strings, it retrieves the size of a string. So,
Strings
yeah.
and vectors, right?
I know yeah, I think so. Maybe I'm thinking of Java because Java has a thing for length as one and size as the other. But
while you're doing that, I'm also typing code on my second monitor.
Okay.
Just to try things out.
So
Okay.
so registry.
Hold on.
I
I'm still scratching my head
maximum
for one
first.
thing. I'm trying to figure out why the first argument needs to be a pointer. So let me take a moment and read this question to myself and try to figure this out. To a maximum value, write a function that returns a pointer to the maximum value of an array of floating point data. I would think that A is the array, but why is it a pointer though? Okay. Mr. Ashbot, if it's okay with you, I'm gonna type some code on my second monitor, and if it works, I'm gonna relay it to you.
Okay. Do you want me to stop sharing?
Oh no, you're you can keep sharing. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna copy the same thing that you did. So I'm gonna say W maximum A int So I'm gonna do the same thing that you did and make a double of an array of doubles like you did. So double R equals. Correct me if I'm wrong, but on line 14, I believe the elements need to be inside of squiggly brackets, not square brackets.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, line 14.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, I just tested to see if I can pass it as a pointer. It seems to have worked.
Thanks.
So could I do that?
Right, so okay, so far so good. I like that code that you wrote so far. It does need a little change to it, but I'll tell you later after you. Now so that code looks good so far, but there is a little problem. You said int maximum equals a dot 0, but this is an array of doubles, right? So what you should do is make it a double instead of a. There you go. Okay. And then for yeah, no, that won't work yet. So there's a couple other things that we have to fix too. So int I equals 0, that looks good. Double maximum equals that. If AI is greater than maximum equals AI. So I think so that looks good so far, but there is one problem with the your function call. You see, so on line 5, it says that the two arguments have to be a double pointer variable and then an int. But in line 19, when you call it, you just say array and the size when the first argument needs to be an address. So how about instead of saying R and the size, you put an ampersand in front of the ARR? Because yeah, like that. Because you see double A needs to be a pointer variable, and so it needs to have it can't accept a double. It needs to have the address of a double. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's one other thing that I'd like you to change as well. So on line 5, you see that maximum is supposed to return a pointer double, right? So what you should be returning is instead of saying star maximum, I think you should say ampersand maximum. Okay, so far so good. Last but not least, one thing you should note is that maximum is not a void function. It's of type double. Well, it's of type pointer to double, right? So on line 19, you actually wouldn't see any kind of information unless you see outed it. So you should say see outs. Oh no, you should put this on line 19. Like say see out before you call your maximum. And then now because this is returning a pointer, because this is returning a pointer, I think so here's what I'd like you to do. I'm not sure if this would work, but on line 19, surround maximum with open and close parentheses. And then put an ampersand in front of it. I think that would work. Let's try it.
Just a little bit.
Cannot convert an array of double to, yeah, that's what the issue is. I'm not sure why the first argument needs to be a pointer of a double. I would think that you should be adding you should be passing the array to it. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. So get rid of that. Get rid of that ampersand.
No, the ampersand needs to be there since it's a pointer variable. It needs an address. The ampersand is the address of operator. The star is the dereferencing operator. Yeah. So aside from that, I just don't understand why we have to pass the first argument as a double pointer.
Yeah.
How would we get the information of the array from A if that's the case? That's kind of weird. So that doesn't work. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna try some code here. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna screenshot your code real fast. Okay. And then I'm gonna share. Go ahead and stop your share, and I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna share my screen too. Okay. Share screen. So So the address. Um, hmm. Would it really work if I did it like this? Let's see. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's what I did. I removed the ampersands there, but instead of telling me the size, the largest value, it gave me the address of the largest value. I think.
Okay.
So
Isn't that the
that's
point?
I think that's supposed to do with returning a pointer to the maximum value.
yeah,
Yeah, returning the pointer is the address, right?
yeah. Hold on. Let's see if I did this.
I got 0 on my
Okay.
test.
Yeah. So this. So I put the dereferencing operator here. This would return 5 because it's the largest value. But if I didn't have that here, this would return the address of the largest value, which is going to be some register value. It's going to be a different register value for you because random is memory is randomly accessed. So here's, I'm going to try something to see if this really does work. I'm going to change this 3 to a 10. And by doing that, 10 will be the new maximum. Let's see if it works. Oh, well, I wouldn't know unless I added the dereferencing operator. There we go. Okay, so I guess it works. I didn't quite understand this, but apparently it works. So
mine just returns a blank space.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. In front of the C out, I'm actually gonna say, I'm gonna remove this star. And I'm gonna say C out the address of largest and to prove that this is the largest value, I'm going to say the largest value is going to be star this thing. And for me, it would be, I guess I should end the line. Okay. Okay, so there's that. Why don't you share your screen again?
Wait, so what does this function look like again?
Oh, you want to see it?
Yeah.
Well, the function is exactly the same as you had it. I just replaced the ampersand with a star because apparently it's supposed to be that instead, and I removed the ampersand in front of R because I thought we needed it, but I guess we didn't. So it should look like this. Or
Oh yeah, let me see the function parameters real quick.
okay. Like that.
Yeah.
Can you see it just fine, or do I have to put it to 150?
Yeah, I can see it fine. Okay. Yeah, so I've got two. Okay, so returning, so taking the, okay. So the function itself returns the address of the largest value. And so if you return a pointer to the function, then it gives you the address. Well, then it gives you the actual value.
Yeah. So if you put this gives you the address, having the asterisk here gives you the thing that's inside of the address. Because the asterisk is referred to as a dereferencing operator. The ampersand is known as the address of operator. Maybe I should say that, like, make some comments. Operation, and this is the address of okay. So if you got this, I'm gonna stop my share. Let's see your screen again.
Okay. Yep, I could have that running. Yeah. Okay. So I think this is pretty similar to what you had.
Yeah.
Right.
No. What I had is actually what you had with like slight changes.
Right.
Yeah. So run that. Let's see it. So we should say, oh, it's not saying anything, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's kind of what mine's doing too.
All right. Let me see your code. Let's see. I'm gonna compare your code to mine and try to find out what's wrong. Include iris. That looks right. Size, yeah. Maximum is I is less than the size I plus plus. If AI is maximum equals AI, return and maximum. The address of the largest value. Can I see what kind of warnings that it gave? So it says line 6 warning address of local variable maximum returned. Line 6. That's kind of odd. Your code looks exactly the same as mine. The only problem that I could probably conceive is that you did name the you did name the function and the variable the same name, but I don't think that matters because one's a function, one's a here's what I want you to do. Inside of the definition, instead of saying maximum, why don't you just call it max, max?
That is taken already.
Oh wait, is max a reserved word?
I think it's a reserved word.
Yeah.
I should say the max then. I'll do the same to mine too. I think maybe the compiler for code blocks and Visual Studio are different. Maybe it's getting tripped up on the fact that
Oh, you're right.
the
Yeah.
variable and the function have the same name. That's my only hypothesis as to why it's not working, but I don't know if that would really fix it. Everything in the main should be fine. Still not doing it, huh? That's odd.
I don't remember these being like curly brackets. I could swear these are parentheses or something. Oh no, okay, I was wrong.
Oh, maybe that's why it wasn't working, because you had the last thing wasn't a squiggly bracket. It was a closed parentheses. Try running it again.
I changed it to parentheses just to see if that was.
It's still not working. That's weird. Here's. Why don't you email that code to me, and then I'll run it on my machine, and then we can try to figure out what's wrong. That's weird, because your code looks exactly the same as mine. No. Did you already email it to me?
Yeah, I need to find the email again.
My email is 005823892.
005893823.
823.
823.
Hmm.
That's 005823823.
892. Did you already email it?
No.
Okay.
Hopefully I typed in your ID right. Some random person didn't get the SIM code.
Okay.
All right. There you go.
Did you already send it?
Yeah.
You did. I'm refreshing and I don't see it. That's very strange. Your code looks exactly the same as mine. So I'm not quite sure what the problem.
You think it is a code blocks thing?
Like a difference between compilers, maybe.
Wait, could you try running that code in Visual Studio? See if it works.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna try to find out. So Logan Ashwell said he emailed his code to me, but I'm refreshing my page and I don't see it.
Hopefully I typed in the wrong number because that would be awkward. Oh, yep, I didn't type it in and didn't find it. Okay. Typed it because it didn't send to anyone. 005893.
Here, I'm gonna do. Did you get an email from me with my email address?
Oh. I do not see one at the moment.
Oh, I'm sorry. I sent it to Aaron Massey. I should send it to you. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I just got an email from you. I was like, wait.
Sorry about that. All right, Logan Ashbaugh. I sent another email to you.
Wait, it's an email containing your email address.
Yes.
Couldn't you just have put it in chat?
Oh, yeah. I guess I could.
I'll just send a reply to it.
There we go. All right. Okay, guys. Here's what I'm gonna do. Go ahead and stop your screen, Mr. Ashbaugh. I'll share my screen. And here's what I'm gonna do. All of this, I will comment it out. And then I will copy this code that Mr. Ashbaugh sent to me. And I will put it it works on Visual Studio, but it's not working for code blocks. That is so weird. Yeah, because I looked at our code, it looked exactly the same, and we were right. It is exactly the same. So what's up with that?
I used to use REPL, so I'm gonna get on there and see.
Wait, what?
I used to use REPL.
Is that another compiler? Or
Yeah,
editor?
another ID.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if it works on there.
Yeah, that's really strange. Why do you work on code blocks?
It's probably because code blocks allocates memory differently.
Oh, is that so? I don't know.
I'm assuming so, considering the results.
I don't know if it's so much about memory. Maybe it's a difference in compiler. Code.
It works fine on REPL.
Yeah, so it works fine for a different IDE. It works fine
Yeah.
for video, but it doesn't work for code blocks. That's so weird. I think that's worthy of an email to Professor Amir. All right, because I'm here. Code blocks cannot see memory address. Cannot see memory info during debugging. Maybe this has something. If you follow a Visual Studio tutorial, it cannot work with CB. Why? If you want to see the memory your variable uses, type ampersand foo as the address of the memory. You want to see it in the dialog. Type ampersand. What?
Isn't that what we did?
Type this. That's strange. Print variable addresses. So it's something with code blocks that's preventing you from seeing memory addresses. Code blocks issue with memory. Yeah, that's weird. It will work on any other IDE, but not code blocks. That's odd. That's odd. But at least we know we got At least we know that we have the correct code, right? So
Yeah.
does Professor Amir care which IDE you use for your homework? Because if not, then maybe you should use Visual Studio as the IDE for your question 1 and 2.
Oh, we need to do that for 1 and 2.
Yeah, because 1 and 2 are almost exactly the same. Yeah, because if you look, if I open the homework again, problem 1 was the one that we did. Problem 2 is the exact same thing as problem 1, except we're using characters instead of numbers.
Yeah, so the functions returns the pointer, which is that the address or the variable itself?
A pointer variable is a variable that contains an address. So yeah, it's the address.
So it's the address to the variable. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So unless we can somehow figure out how to show memory addresses in code blocks, I think you're gonna have to do question 1 and question 2 on a different IDE. Like, what was the name of the IDE that you used, Mr. Ashwell?
Replit. So it's one I used in high school.
Okay, can you type in the chat how you spell it?
Yeah, like that.
Replit. Okay. Yeah. So maybe I should send an email to Professor Amir and let him know code blocks has a little problem with it. It doesn't show the memory addresses. Every other IDE can, but not code blocks. That's odd. But hey, at least we know we have the right code. Yeah. Maybe I'll look into this a little more, and maybe I can figure out why code blocks chooses not to show memory addresses. But aside from that, do you have any other questions? We know that the code for problem 1 works. We just have to use a different IDE.
Yeah, I guess I can just write a comment like somewhere, just like this code works on other IDEs, but
yeah, if I can figure it, I'm gonna look into it and try to figure out why code blocks chooses not to show memory addresses. That's all right. I don't think Professor Amir will care if you use a different IDE, right?
hopefully not.
Yeah.
You think? Do you know if this is the last homework assignment of the semester, or is there one more?
I have no idea. I'm not. I don't think there would be one more since we're very close to finals right now. Let's hope that there isn't any more homework.
Yeah.
Hey, if you know how to do question 1, you also know how to do question 2 because you're working with characters instead of numbers now.
Okay, so it's like just the same, except instead of double array, it's char array.
Yeah, and instead of finding for the largest one, you try to find the first instance of when you see it.
Okay.
So the moment you find the first instance, you should put a break so that you can leave the exception handle and then return where you found it in the first instance.
Oh, so just break from the function?
Yeah.
Or, well, we could just return the function
then.
then.
Return.
Yeah.
You just return.
Yeah. Okay.
But aside from that, do you guys need any more help?
Oh yeah. Let's see. So what are we going over on Tuesday?
So over the weekend, I'd like you to do the week 12 sections on your own, and then when we meet again Tuesday, we'll do one of the labs.
Got it.
And if you guys want, maybe we can look into another homework problem. But we have time. This homework's not due until the 29th. That's a week from now.
Also, part 2 are also returning a double pointer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are we good? Are we good to wrap up this meeting?
Yeah, I
think
think
so,
so.
If I had trouble on this, I'll just ask on Tuesday.
Wait, what?
If I have trouble on this, I can ask on Tuesday, I think.
Okay. You guys know where to find the SOAP forms, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, make sure you fill those out before their due date.
Mhm.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, I'll wrap this up and I'll say see you guys Tuesday and have a good weekend.
All right.
see ya.
Thanks. You too.
Have a good one.
Thanks for going overtime.
Yeah.
Good night, guys.
Good night.